Go.
It's-
Hi there.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How about you guys?
We're good. Are you early or are you on time, or did you just skip the main stage because you can?
I am early. I am 10 minutes early, and I skipped the main stage because I can.
There you go. So, how about we get to know each other then?
Okay. I'm Erica,
Hi, Erica. That was easy. Where are you from?
South Carolina.
Awesome. And Humphrey, you're in New Jersey, right?
I'm in New Jersey /
Today.
Seattle.
/ Seattle.
Both coasts.
There you go. There you go. And I'm Dahlia. I am from Boston, Mass. So Erica, what do you do for fun? Don't work. Don't talk about work right now.
But it's fun.
Is it?
Yeah.
Holy shit! I'm gonna have to quote you. Huh? What?
Yeah.
So what events are you working on that's fun?
Right now, the one I'm working on is called the Beyond Conference. The hashtag Beacon 2021 on it. It's fun because everything I do for my client is a surprise, and she gets so worked up, and I'm like, that's already been done, and she's like, really? And you can see the relief leave from her. I don't know. This is her second event, but everything is still a surprise, and she still thinks that the stuff I talk about is a foreign language. So
Oh, so you're
you
like
blow up-
you're like
you
you're
blow her
like
mind.
you're magically delighting your customers. You're like vastly exceeding expectations.
I hope so. Just having things done is like a surprise for her. So I'm not sure how everything went before, but I like to finish things I start.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes, yeah, you're right. I mean, I guess people's expectations around people can vary widely.
Yeah.
If that person is used to like not getting much and you're getting stuff done, that's like a shock.
I can only do what I do. I tell her not to expect much, but what I can do is set up platforms and give her tips on promotion. So hopefully, I know all the platforms are right, but hopefully her promotion is going great.
Awesome, awesome. Well, it is all about the promotion and the marketing, to be honest, in the end. What platforms are you using right now?
He chose Hey Summit and Air Meet.
Cool. I like Air Meet.
Me too. Love
Yeah.
the lounge.
Yeah, I think it's nice and simple, and it works.
I like that it works.
Yeah, me too. I haven't used Hey Summit in a second, so I don't know where they're at the moment. It used to be so hot in the beginning of the hamster wheel. So
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that you can add some CSS and change up the background, change the fonts, and make it something different. And a lot of people are just now finding out the site URL doesn't have to say Hey Summit.
So you're hacking the system? Is that what you're saying? Because this is recorded, Erica. No, I'm kidding.
Well, all those things were there before. I'm thinking people are just now seeing them.
That's true.
Well,
they're just right now, they just figured out where the mute button is. So, I mean, you can't be too, critical.
and by the way, hacking is a good term.
It's a user-friendly term these days.
Yes.
That's how things get better.
It's true.
That's how you figure out
the room. That's really nice.
It's the cheapest upgrade ever.
So who do we have?
We got Rachel.
Of course we do.
Hello.
Hello. Are you getting on camera or are you shy?
Are we supposed to be on camera?
I mean,
always
to be
better.
honest, like, why not? Because Erica beat you to it. So Erica says yes.
I was not ready for being on camera.
Oh, come on, stop it. You Canadians are so like,
Hard on ourselves.
very, very.
I'm just been pulling my hair.
Erica's from South Carolina and like, we don't care. Humphrey's between New Jersey and Seattle. He doesn't care.
You should be by your pool or something, Humphrey. I feel like, you're always posting pictures of a bunch of pools. You have something for that.
I do. I could, here you go. I could be right by the pool.
There we go.
Now you're showing off. I don't know if I like that.
I like the
Erica
red
and
one.
I don't agree. Look
Don't-
who it is. One of my favorite people in the whole entire world. John, you too, but Angie first. Hey,
Hello,
lovely.
Gee.
how's everyone doing?
Good. How are you, honey?
Doing well, doing well.
Sending you virtual hugs.
Thank you. It's appreciated.
Mm.
Rachel, it's good to see you again as well, and it's nice to meet you, everyone else.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
Nice
too.
meeting you, Angie.
So Angie, Humphrey, and John are with Clipper.
Okay.
Erica is a rock star that keeps surprising and delighting her clients. And they're like, holy shit, you could do that with virtual meetings. And she's like, yeah, of course. And she hacks platforms, but in a good way.
I love that. I
Yes.
love
So it's all good. How are you doing, hon?
I'm okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, day by day.
How's Infor?
Back in Atlanta, so adjusting back to life. For everyone, I have recently lost a family member, so I'm adjusting back to life as that's part of it. So not to be a downer at all, just to explain.
So sorry to hear that.
There
Thank
you
you.
go.
Sorry.
All right. And oh my God, this is going to be a love fest. I don't know if we're going to talk about content or if we're going to just be like loving each other. Erica, John, and Humphrey, you are in a great room because Tess just showed up. So there you go.
Hey, Tess.
Hi, John.
Tell me that you're not calling from the car because then,
No, I'm in my hotel room on vacation.
oh, is that why you're whispering? Because that's kind of,
Well, you know,
Strange.
I'm trying not to disturb people.
oh, and I was going to say that dog is not yours. That's Angie.
You know
That's mine. I'll be right back to go deal with
Hey,
it.
no,
Angie,
wait,
sunshine, huh?
do not
Sweet
mute the
sunshine.
dog. The dogs have a lot to say about content.
They have so much to say, but that AKA means they want to go outside. So I'll be right back.
Hmm.
Oh, Angie. Rachel, how's Rachel doing?
All right, so we're gonna get
Okay.
started
Peggy.
because Craig
Craig
is
is
in
here
the house.
too. Craig is in the house.
Holy cow, it's a party. And we got Peggy,
Is that my Peggy?
of course, and we got Waffles. You need to show your face because I haven't seen you in ages. And Sharon, we're gonna wait a couple of minutes. Oh, and we got Ken. What?
Hey, girl.
This is, oh, it's Ed.
Dahlia, my birthday twin.
Hi, honey, how are you?
Very good. How are you doing?
Good. Sheila, looking awesome. Ken, everybody looks so fantastic. So fantastic. Are we ready to rock and roll or is there housekeeping notes? Are we getting this conversation going? How do you want to do it? I'm gonna ask Sheila and Top Notch.
I
Top
say
Notch.
you just go for it.
Roll with it. Okay, so hello everyone, and it's interesting because I feel like I know everybody. So I'm going to send you kisses. Anna and Sharon, you might not know me, but I'm sending virtual kisses. We're sending virtual kisses. All right. So you have two hosts for this roundtable because this is a very important topic, which is about content. But in the meantime, I would love all of you to get to know each other. So in the chat, if you can just put your name, what you do, as well as what is an exciting thing that you are working on at the moment that includes content. Whether it's, even if you're binging Netflix, you got to share the series that you're binging right now. So, but Humphrey, I'm going to have you introduce yourself, and then I'll go next. And then we have a couple of conversation starters for everybody.
Sure. Yeah. Hi, my name is Humphrey Chen. I'm a CEO for a company called Clipper, and we basically index video and make it easier to interact, engage, and search and view just what you want from the video.
Awesome. I was trying to type and listen and talk at the same time, and it didn't work. So my name is Dalia El-Ghazar. For this moment, I will dub myself a tech therapist, as well as to help people figure out. Sharon, did you like that? Yeah, right. So I am your tech therapist, but basically what I at Dahlia Plus Agency, we pride ourselves in trying to find you money. So in any events that you are producing and any experiences that you are designing, there is always revenue to be made, as well as opportunities on how you can use your content, whether it's for events or whether it's for even webinars, your internal teams, et cetera, how you can monetize that, as well as creating that into assets that you can use for long-term, so long shelf life of content. And Marlies, I see that you're here. Hello, hello. Tess, I also see. So I think a lot of people are their camera shy, but that's all right. We're gonna get to you. So what we wanted to do is just first take a litmus test in regards to content. How many people, and you can use the chat, you can also the traditional way of just putting your hand up or raise your hand with the reactions. Tell us if you are producing content at the moment or involved with any programs that have content that's related to it. Hi, Gabriel. And
Hey, yeah, I produce content. I write content. Yeah.
You write content as well?
Yeah.
Perfect. So when it comes to content, the biggest challenge that we keep hearing from event profs in the industry is, how do you first and foremost design content that you can use going forward? So taking your sessions, reskinning them, making them into like bingeable content or snackable content that you can use going forward. Anybody have really great examples to share with the crowd, with the swarm? I'm calling it a swarm. Anyone?
Erica's got her hand.
Sharon, go.
Sharon.
Okay, so I have been doing virtual events for a long time. I've done over 2,000 webinars. So I do a lot for magazines. So I've taken a lot of long webinars, anywhere from 45 minutes, and I've broken them into 5 to 10 minute snackable sizes, and then use them for social media, called them out for specific one-off things. So that's how we built some of the lead databases for a lot of my clients, is using that. And that's been really, really effective. I've also been doing a preview, like a movie trailer, for some of the events that we're doing, just to introduce someone. Like, I'm doing an event next week. We just got the Secretary of HUD and the Governor of New York are going to be our keynote. So we are pre-recording them just in advance, as well as we're going to come in, but I'm using that to create a preview reel that we're going to send out to the press and to social media. So
awesome.
Definitely ways to do things that are around that.
Perfect. And
I'm a total geek. I am proud to be a web nerd, and I kind of call myself an event technologist. So I am a total geek.
Well, we believe in event technologists. I think Tess, you would attest that we actually took that title a step further. and we are calling it Event Tech Mixologist because there's liquor involved. No, I'm kidding. It's because you're mixing a lot of technology together.
Well, I think that's part of the challenge too, is,
Right.
you know, we've been looking at platforms now for a year, and I was looking at them before that. I go all the way back to Placeware pre-Microsoft. But I think the challenge is it's not one-stop shopping. It's kind of how
Right.
you mix and match. And so, you know, it's trying to find a platform that will play in the same sandbox with another piece of technology. And the one that I'm really passionate about is Talk, TAWK TO, which is
Talk to.
Yes, Talk to. It is a live support desk, completely free and more robust than most of the stuff that you actually pay for. So, and I'm embedding it in Socio for the first time next week, which has been an interesting education. But I've used it probably for 25 conferences now, and you can create shortcuts, and it's really easy to implement. You know, I wish there were more things like that.
So with using like Talk to and, you know, other platforms such as Clipper, for example, where you are looking at the content that you've created. So like if you look at I call it a content continuum. So for example, you look at content that you've created live in conferences, you might have done webinar series. So that's also content. I'm going to call it legacy, but with all respect. So where you have content that is years old, that is archived somewhere or on a hard drive. And so basically, how do you take that content and turn that or reskin it so that you can turn that into monetization opportunities, right? So because what we're seeing that's happening, which is a great thing, is when you're looking at this content continuum, this is what communities want the most. They want the education. They want, you know, to keep on learning. They want to interact with their peers. So just a show of hands, or if anybody has an example, has anybody taken legacy content or webinar content, for example, and turned that into education programs, for example, for their internal teams or for their attendees or new attendees?
We've done some of that for some of the magazines that we've done, but the other thing we've done is take some of the legacy and then do a quick update to it and say, hey, you know, like, for example, I have a magazine that does recreational management. So like park and rec departments and stuff like that. And we had a great webinar on pool design. And then we updated it and talked about how the COVID protocols now have to fit in and how it changed the way you structure something operationally.
Okay.
We released it as kind of a quick time. We had them go to it, and then we brought in the speakers for a live Q&A and recorded it, and then tweeted everything out via social media.
Perfect.
So yeah, legacy on demand is not what it should be. I mean, I hear these outrageous figures and I'm going, I don't know what they're smoking, but on demand is not what
they should share what they're smoking, Karen. That's what I'm
definitely, or at least a cocktail.
Like, come on. Marlise, what about you?
Well, since I just finished hosting virtual lunch and hopped over from there, I thought I would just share. So I do virtual lunch. I host for the trade show and event industry twice a month. And I actually stream that through StreamYard. I do YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So it's like multi-platform. So that's the first, you know, multi-purpose. Then I download the audio from that, edit out just the guest interview, and then I use that to make a podcast for Trade Show Insights. So I've repurposed it that way. And then also sometimes I use Headliner. I think it's headliner.app. And you can make audiograms, which are really cool. Just like a little 1 or 2 minute snippet that then you can use as a social media post. So that's another tool. I also, over the years, I've taken some of my blog posts, because I've been blogging and I've been podcasting for almost 16 years, blogging for most of that time too. So I took some of my blog posts and I used those to write my book a couple of years ago. So, taking this content and multi-purpose. Oh, and then you also mentioned about taking webinars. So I've taken some of my exhibitor webinars as well and packaged those up into ongoing courses. So instead of just like a one-off webinar that I created for somebody, I take and make that more generic content that's not specific to a certain organization, and then use that as an online course. So,
Perfect.
Repurposing content, it only makes sense. You've paid time and money to create it once. Why not reuse it as many times as possible?
Exactly. So Marlies, do me a huge favor, and if you can just in the chat put the apps and platforms that you're using so that we can compile a list together for everybody.
Okay.
And then Heidi and Anna, I saw you saying yes with the head. So Heidi first, and then Anna, if you can share, what you have, that would be fantastic.
So I don't actually have the name of the platform, but we just did the second year in a row an event with a nonprofit here in Maryland. And the second time worked really well. They pair together mentorships of women and young adult women, so in the community, and they're Girl Scouts. It's the Girl Scouts. And we filmed the content this year as a conversation between the two women after they spent the day together. While we're filming the very last one, I turned to the development officer and I told her, this content that we are filming and sharing during your event needs to be cataloged and available on your website as post-event possibilities for future sponsors, future women leaders, future Girl Scouts, and you need to grow a library. And moving forward next year, even though they're planning for in-person, we are planning to continue doing this portion of it virtually and share it again. So I'm excited with the possibilities of where things can go.
That's
having combined what we
fantastic.
learned.
Yeah, with conversations and then content and then community, right? Perfect. Anna, what about you?
Hi. So I've been doing content for myself since a long time. And I used to teach content marketing actually. So I did this summit that I used OneStream. I loved it. I pre-recorded it and I hosted it on a private Facebook group. And that was like, everybody was raving about it because it's an easy access, right? Everybody has a Facebook. So it's like super easy access. And then we had like Q&A in Zoom as well. So from Zoom to Facebook group and the OneStream, everybody knew that I told them, I was clear, this is a live streaming. It's not live. We pre-recorded it first with the speakers and then the speakers came in the chat and they would chat with people. So I love to use that tool.
Yeah.
That helps the content be streamed somewhere else without having you to be there at all. It was so good, right? And it was on time, which is kind of cool, right? When we were doing an event, being on time on every single thing is so important.
It is very important.
I was amazed like how timely it was. So it did fail once though. So I'm gonna tell you the truth. It did fail with one of those sessions and I was like, oh my gosh. But I did it fast because I was on the Facebook group all day, right? And I managed to notice that it wasn't streaming, so I could go back and fix it. And then yeah, I've been using the Facebook Studio actually. I don't use a third party to be sharing on social media. I use them directly because I can post carousels. And I grab from.
I think you're going to have to teach me how to do that because I have not that. We're going to have Anna do how to on. I've never even realized that you can do that, which is dumb, but it's I think that's fantastic. So Facebook Studio. One thing that I wanted to piggyback on something that you said, which I think is super important, is the content that you create with your speakers. There's also very important content that's created in the chat that is also sponsorship material. And so like the dialogue and the golden nuggets, and like when we were saying to everybody, you know, put together your list of the apps and the platforms that you use for content, for example, or for streaming, that's gold right here in the chat. That's like a separate type of session or education that you can turn into money, right? Or you can also turn that into another session or another roundtable discussion, sponsored, etc. So I know we're getting, you know, time is of essence. It seems like nobody has enough time. I don't know how you guys feel. I feel like, yeah, I'm like,
enough.
It's already 2:30. What the heck? But Humphrey, I'm gonna pick on you for a second, you know, and have you share some examples of clients, especially with event content, how you are showing them how they can monetize it or how they can position it. So like in Heidi's example of like a library on the website, etc. And I'm going to ask anybody who's not speaking to mute, if you don't mind, just so that we can hear each other.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Talia. So, so for Clipper, I mean, the way that we've been kind of operating, we've been like processing video for event platforms. And so what would happen in this case, this platform that's using Clipper, what they're doing is they normally monetize leads, and those leads they used to be in person, but now they're all digital leads. And so what they've realized is that when the videos get sent out after the event has finished, I'm sure, you know, it'll be actually, let me ask a question here. What % of people actually engage with these links when you send them out afterwards? Maybe I can get anyone share like 1%, 5%, 10%. I'm curious to see like what the re-engagement rate is for video links of the post-event experience looks like from everyone.
So like on demand, you mean?
Yeah, like when
Yeah.
it's all done and it's all said and done, how many people come back and take a look at the content and refer to the content and leverage the content and reshare the content?
And that's a KPI that a lot of people are needing to put in place at the moment. You know, it's like content viewership, like real time versus on demand. I mean, I would love to hear what everybody has as a percentage, even if you don't have it in place. Or Erica, go. You're on mute though.
So for my live stream, I stream weekly. I have a 30 to 34% open rate, and the click-through rate is about 11 to 14%. So not that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody have it like high as like 40%, 50%? No, right? It's low. So Angie, you have 30.
That's a high. So
That's a high. You're the winner. No, I'm kidding.
So I bring that up because the client that we were working with like is basically viewing the, you know, and they're selling to event organizers and to attendees. And so the way they're looking at Clipper is that when someone looks at a video and if they end up bookmarking it or if they end up sharing it or reacting to it, that ends up being another lead itself. And so there's actually real-time leads that happen at like an actual event when everyone is like showing up like here and engaging. But then if someone actually follows up with the content, and if you're actually able to see what they value and what they don't value, that's actually a lead too. Not all of them are equally valuable. If someone bookmarks it, if someone shares it, if someone does the claps or does a light bulb, you actually have a little extra insight around what that person actually thought because they went through extra effort to actually mark and highlight that specific moment. And so for this particular event platform, they're viewing that as secondary lead gen for the long tail after the event. And so in a way, like we've been focused on the post-event experience, but we've also been engaging in the real-time experience. And so in this case, like if people are doing reactions around a specific moment here, like if there were claps, those claps would actually become part of the record, and everybody who actually wants to revisit this video would actually go and look and see where those claps were, because they would know that this specific moment was actually more valuable than another moment.
So that gives food for thought, you know, for many that are designing content, not only, and I know it takes a lot of work to design content and deal with speakers and mute buttons, if you know what I mean, you know where I'm going, only for the program, right? But what we're trying to get at is think of it long-term. So like, how do you think of it when you archive it, or you do that, like what Heidi was saying, the on-demand library? How do you analyze that? How do you keep refreshing it, or having people, you know, engaging with it?
Okay, Emmy's homesick. She has a stomach.
Can you turn your mic off, please, or mute? Someone is having a phone call with someone. That's all.
I got it.
Thank you, Sheila. So not only what the you know, taking a look at it from analytics in the sense of interaction, because interaction and on-demand content is huge, right? And then how do you extend the shelf life of it, turn that into sponsorship opportunities, as well as looking what people are seeking, so that you give them more of that, you know? So it's like they're actually helping you design your next program. They're helping you design your next content, but you really don't get to know anything about that, or how you turn that into revenue. For example, if you just upload a bunch of videos, you know, links on a web page, and then you call it a day. Does that make sense? Any other questions or insights? I see that people are asking about the chat, if this is going to be saved. Yes. Sheila, is it going to be saved? Or am I lying? No, she said yes. What Sheila said, it's going to be saved. All good. Any other ideas on how to make more money on content? Or one of my favorite questions that I need to ask as well is, how do you make more money on content? And then how do you also have your stakeholders, other than your speakers, be content creators for you? Anything?
This is Peggy Lamberton.
Hi, Peggy.
And hi. So regarding monetized snippets, if you will, to be placed on whatever platform you want, there is a way to do that, which I've had a lot of success with, but you can't really measure it, because it's based on human emotion, human connection, and how someone feels in their gut about your organization at one time, specifically nonprofit and also association. I'll give you an example on the nonprofit, and I'll make it quick. Nonprofits, this was sparked to me when Heidi was talking about how she used her interviews on her, I guess it was your website, Heidi. We had a nonprofit, and we interviewed our main financial contributors, and also the end receivers, the end benefiters, if you will, which were children anywhere from 7 to 17 years old. And sometimes these two people would be talking, but they were no more than 2-minute interview. We'd put it on our website. And I'll tell you, people will watch a 2-minute interview if they're considering giving to your organization, but it's the people, the donors who gave the big bucks, who love to see themselves there. Their friends know about it. You got to tell me that they will not whip out their checkbook the next year because they have an emotional, personal attachment. And then in a lesser degree and a different appeal, associations also. I mean, associations are not all dollars and cents business. Some people join the association because they're just appreciated. So if you can figure out a way to do that, that's a good way.
That's perfect. Perfect, perfect. So I think we're right on time, right? 2:35, because I was told I have to send you all back to the main stage. I would keep you here for like another hour or so. And, you know,
Well, and I'll just add one thing. So be on the lookout. Early next week, you'll be getting Clipper processed versions of this whole conference. And so you'll actually be able to search, react, comment, and see how kind of content can be monetized and engaged with after the event. We actually now also have the ability to do it from real time, like through StreamYard and streaming mechanisms. So streaming live can immediately turn into the post event without any much effort. So, but yeah, no, we figured we want people to experience it in order to actually appreciate it and understand it.
perfect, perfect. Well, thank you for the awesome conversation. Great to see beautiful, familiar faces. I'm gonna do the hugging thing until I see you next time, and then hug you for real. And then you all have to go to the main stage. So gonna say goodbye.
Thanks, Dahlia.
Bye.
Thanks so much. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.